storm is raging on. Broken bolts of lightning illuminate the night sky. You shiver from the cold. The rain and the wind whip you with 1,000 lashes. You see a cavern in front of you. You run towards it, looking for a shelter. It's dark inside. You turn on your flashlight, and suddenly you realize that you're being surrounded by dark, sinister figures. You can see the greenish lights eyeing you from the depths of the cavern, and you can hear growls reverberating off the cavern's walls, getting louder and louder. Toastmasters club members are no strangers to performance anxiety. And this is understandable since one of its types is the most common phobia in the world, the fear of public speaking. And fear in general is one of the most important, if a bit unpleasant, parts of human experience. And human being can be arbitrarily divided into three parts: mind, body, and soul. And so there exist three different approaches of dealing with performance anxiety. Dear friends and guests of the club, Madame Toastmaster, today I'm going to tell you about three mental techniques of dealing with performance anxiety. And the first such technique is actually reminding yourself that anyone can be affected by anxiety, regardless of age, gender, ethnicity, income, and social status. This is important to remember because we often are feeling anxious because we're feeling anxious. Anxiety fuels itself. By reminding yourself that you're not the only one who can be affected by it, you can throw off the weight of it. And as the light of your flashlight gets stronger, you will notice that the dark figures that surround you are just the shadows of the people who live in the cavern. The lights that you see are the whites of their eyes, and the growls that you hear are merely the sound of someone snoring out there. Now let's get to another situation. One of the most common symptoms of performance anxiety is repetitive or intrusive thoughts. Things like, my voice is cracking. Do I look stupid on the stage? They're all judging me, they're all looking at me. And so on and so on. Sometimes it takes the form of repeating the speech, or the lyrics, or the game plan, or whatever you're about to perform in your mind over and over and over and over again. Do you know what would happen when you actually start to performing? Your mind goes into an overdrive, and there are good chances that you forget everything right on the spot. It happened to me when I was in high school. We were supposed to recite a poem in front of our parents in the 7th grade. And we've rehearsed a lot, and where I memorized what I was supposed to be. So you enter the cavern, and as you're making your steps inside, everything around you starts crumbling. What do you do in this situation? You go outside. So the second technique for dealing with performance anxiety is actually taking your mind off it. It's when you are in this situation, your attention is focused inwards. You need to take it outside. So generally you can do it by two ways. You either stop thinking at all, which is the main purpose of the meditation. But meditation is not always available when you're about to perform. Or to distract yourself with some other activity. For example, strike a conversation with someone before the performance, or actually pay attention to what people are saying on the stage that are performing before you, or doing something as trivial as reading an ebook before the performance. Something that will take your mind off anxiety. Something that will take you out of the cavern. And there is the third thing. When we are anxious, our fears are often malformed. You think something like, if I go on the stage, then something bad happens, or something like this. So you enter the cavern again, and you see a shadow in front of you. It could be anything, you don't know what it is. It could be a stone. It could be a bear. It could be your friend. What do you do in this situation? You need to identify your fear. You need to take the flashlight and point it at the shadow. You need to, the third technique for dealing with performance anxiety is imagining in detail the very worst possible outcome of the situation you're going in. Because chances are you're not actually doing something dangerous. Because there are no personal hazard when you're on the stage and you're performing a speech or something like this. So when you actually realize what the dangers, what the worst possible outcome is, you will soon realize that you can more or less take the situation and deal with it and survive. Fear is one of the most important, if unpleasant, parts of human existence. Why? They say that fear is our friend. It protects us from harm. But there are times when fear is not being our friend, when it's being irrational and limiting. But fortunately, there are always ways of negotiating with your fear. Dear friends and guests, Madam Toastmaster, I hope that after my speech, you will learn to use your mind more efficiently to deal with performance anxiety. I really hope that afterwards you will counter every challenge that comes in front of you, and you can weather any storm, however fiercely it rages. Madam Toastmaster.
So I want to ask you again